We're 3DS, three dudes who have a common interest in cryptocurrency, finance, technology, sports science, politics, and current events. The content provided in this podcast is for entertainment purposes only and is not intended to be, nor should it be construed as financial advice. The opinions expressed are those of the hosts and guests and do not represent professional financial guidance. Always consult with a certified financial advisor or conduct your own research before making any investment decisions. Listeners act on this information at their own risk.
We're going to win so much, you may even get tired of winning. And you'll say, please, please, it's too much winning. We can't take it anymore. Mr. President, it's too much. And I'll say, no, it isn't. We have to keep winning. We have to win more. We're going to win more. We're going to win so much. I love you. Thank you. Thank you.
Winning is what we are doing, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the show, 3DS. We are here. We got Nate, we got Corey, myself, Bo. If you like us, hit the like button, subscribe, thumbs up, comment, all the good stuff. We got so much content to get into this week. It's just like never ending. I was keeping track of, I had my notes going, and we record once a week, have my notes going. My notes transform throughout the week, so it's been wild this week. They've quickly, I had to one line some things. We're moving up the charts here. Let's go ahead and get into it because I know we get deep in and we just take off. So we got U.S. securities open the door to Wall Street banks. And it is a beautiful day for the crypto community. I'm talking about this is the moment we've been waiting for. The moment the whole entire community has just, I mean, these little steps, they seem so little, but they are going to be monumental when we get to that point. It's just it's a huge leap. We got the Ripple case allegedly is has a deadline of April 16th. We'll see. Case has been going on for 4 years now. When it ends, it ends. It doesn't matter. They're putting things in place now that's already it's like the case. The case is dead. Ripple's gonna win this thing. They're just putting all their little pieces in place to when it finally clears. Hold on.
They'll be cleared hot because then the bankers be prepared to custody it and transfer in it, make payments in it, XYZ, take loans against it, loan it out. Again, it's just part of that adoption phase. This is adoption 2.0 this week in this episode because it just continues on. So I don't think anything is going to slow down. I think it's going to accelerate throughout the summer. And, just like we talked about on the timelines and the charts, Corey's been displaying for us. So I think it's going to be good for the whole community again. Okay, it happens in April. That's fine. Because then the banks will be prepared. I mean, they already got the contracts. We've already seen these NDA numbers. We've already seen everything that's proposed. We already see, council board members working with each other. Oh, she's ex Bank of America. He's ex, Ondo, and they're partnered, and everybody's partnered and just ready to, accept it and move forward with it. So here we are. Exciting time.
It's very exciting. I'm thrilled. I mean, like the price hasn't necessarily reflected, but I'm unfazed by that. I know this is just a step on the or a rung on the ladder to get to that next little bump up on the chart, that candle that we all like to see. Corey?
Well, with that being said, to anybody that's getting into the market or even trading, that just proves what I've always said about news and how don't base your decisions based off of the news events that come out. Don't try to time markets based off of that. And that's not even just crypto, that goes for the stock market too. Just because you hear this event going down, don't think it's going to cause the price to dump or pump, because it's probably going to do the opposite of what you think. because due to all this news, I mean, you said it was small steps. I would say it's small steps right now. But if you've been people that talking about speculating on these things since 17, this is a major step because it's actually happening. Um, I just think that it's just it legitimizes the entire space.
Mhm.
So even if you don't like banks and Wall Street getting involved with it, it's still just it's a necessary evil in the sense of going mainstream. If you want to go mainstream and you want to make all that money, where you need more money to come in, that's how the markets work. So we got to have a they're going to pour in all their money. They're setting up their regulations and laws to allow them to do that. And I mean, it's just, it's happening. So again, I agree. That's it. We said it last week with the whole stockpile thing, banks holding custody now. It's just more bullish. People should be more bullish. That's why I kept saying you're not bullish enough.
Right.
There's so much bullish news.
And you can
No
really
bueno.
tie that into what we were talking about with the RWAs as it relates to what you said about it need, a necessity. Even if you don't like the bank, well, who holds the title to all these homes? Who's got the mortgages for all these things, and so that's where they're lean in the future. So they have to do it regardless. We have to accept it as a community, and oh well, let's make money. Everybody's fighting. It can be only Bitcoin. It can be this. It's like, well, why can't we have a Bitcoin reserve and an altcoin reserve? You got
Yeah.
two piles of money. You got two, three piles of money.
True. By the way, is that a what's that color? Mauve? Is that what is it pink or mauve? Your shirt?
What?
Salmon.
It's like
Salmon?
it's like a real soft orange. I don't know.
This
Beautiful
guy
shirt.
had the fanciest
I
words.
should have wore something else. This has been a distraction, kind of like Elon and the administration. We need to move forward. Like I said, RWA's tokenization, bank and
Yeah,
corporation.
it's good stuff. I just was complimenting your shirt.
I appreciate it. I'll show you the
Absolutely.
back of it in the after hours.
It's oh boy.
Oh boy.
uh well, I say it's a small step because it feels like a small step with the it feels like every currency has kind of a niche that they're kind of working up the rungs of the ladder, if we're keeping with the ladder analogy here. And they're all kind of doing it simultaneously now because we have this crypto administration. So they're all kind of doing it at the same time. And it's like, it's small for, a XRP or a H bar, but like it's huge because, like you said, people in 17 are like, if we can get one of them to do it, that's great. And then you got like these smaller ones that are each knocking down the barriers, which is beautiful. So
Yeah,
I
and
am
it's
very happy to see it.
yeah, and it's critical for stability too. Like that's one of the big reasons that turns people off from the crypto. It's like, oh well, it's volatile. Well, when you have the mass adoption phase, now you'll still have your pumps and your seasons and bull cycle, bear cycle, these things. But once you get to a certain level, just like you've seen with Bitcoin and the amount of inflow that produces, just the ETFs alone daily is enough to keep that price, where it's not going from 100,000 to 80,000 and then back up. It's, what's the lowest we've seen in the past couple of weeks? 98, somewhere in that high 98. So again, it's just going to add to that. And then, consequentially in the future, it's all the money's going to flow to the banks at some point in time, whether it's coming back to the reserve to be distributed through whatever ledger technology, or it's coming, so there'll be that moment in time, couple weeks, couple months or whatever.
Well said. Well said. You want to touch on any more, Corey? You move on to the next.
On to the next,
All
sir.
right,
Give
on
me
the
a
next.
headline. Give me a headline. I'm gonna knock it down.
All
I
right,
hope.
here
Maybe.
we go. Eric Trump.
Mm.
If this happens, let me just say, if this happens, holy shit, this would be amazing for us. He's saying any US based cryptocurrency tax free. Holy shit. That's
I wish I had a
huge.
cha-ching on the soundboard because I'd be ringing it right now.
Oh, hell yeah. I mean, you can hit the damn Uncle Scrooge diving into his coin pit.
That
It,
alone should get you into some sort of basket ETF. I don't know because I don't know where else you can put your money and it get gain for. I will. I'm curious with that. Would there be any sort of grandfathering? Will you have to claim your gains up until that administration signed that executive order? Do you know what I'm saying? Like,
well,
do
I
you have
mean,
to reflect?
again, we
I know
preface
it's
the
been
whole show
postponed.
around the not financial advice and no financial advisor. None of us are, but if you do your
They're full of shit too.
if you look at the uh the statutes and the rules, if you hold it for more than a year, it drops the price of capital gains pretty significantly.
Yeah,
So
a reduction, but this is
with
zero.
yeah, but this is crazy. Zero. I mean, you're just hypothetically speaking, you bought a shit ton of XRP, you hit for 100K, you don't pay a penny of taxes on that.
Yeah,
That's
The way it should be.
the
yeah,
way it should be.
exactly. But that's it's I guess it's so crazy because we've been indoctrinated into the system of like, but you feel wrong about it. You're like you're looking over your shoulder for the IRS agent. They come knocking on your door to ask for his
Well, we're so
30%
far
cut.
we're so far down the list of descendants who have been fighting this thing, man. They got tired, they're exhausted. They they used to fight over 1-2%. Now it's we're looking at 44%, 46% capital gains. Like, what the fuck is going on? That's
So
just
on the
on capital
contrary,
gains.
it's 30% if it's
Yeah.
non-US based.
I mean, I think it should be like that because the way I look at it is if you don't tax the person on the money, I guess this is kind of like Trump's approach on it too, like with tariffs and everything. If a person is makes 100 grand in XRP and doesn't have to pay taxes, that money is gonna come back into the system anyways because they're gonna go out and buy shit with it. You have $30,000 that you would have had to give the government. They might go out and buy a car, they might go buy a house, whatever. The money is gonna be reallocated back into the system in some form or shape, whether they pay taxes or not. I'm not saying we should pay taxes, but at least allow the money to come in and stimulate our economy and things like that instead of just the government taking it and then doing whatever they do with our money and then telling us we need to pay more taxes. So,
Absolutely.
100%. It's actually stronger for your local economies.
yeah, I was gonna say it's gonna drive local and state economies even more if people have more capital at their
Which,
disposal because they're not paying federal taxes on
yeah, and in turn reduces the money and the budget costs that the federal government have to subsidize to the state level, and we can move forward.
them.
But
I mean,
somehow,
and you talk about local level. I mean, think about this is he says winning. It just God, it resonates so much. And like we're in this golden age, he says, we're just getting into the golden age as he speaks of, and it's such a waterfall effect. Like this happens. You look at this list here. I mean, it's a nice list of U.S. made, which is this red circle here on this Venn diagram. And think about you put, you know, a couple grand into XRP or XLM, Litecoin, whatever it is that was made in the USA, you don't pay taxes on it. On just a micro scale, you made 100K and that just directly flows into your local economy because you're going out to eat, you're supporting local shops. It is overlooked, but such an important piece to the puzzle.
yeah,
And I
you're
threw the
still
puzzle in there
paying.
because I know Nate hates on my puzzle.
I'm not hating on your puzzle. Fuck your puzzle. But yeah, I mean, it's a good stimulant for the, like you said, local economy. People tend to forget we pay federal taxes on damn near any. Like, if you go out to eat, you're paying some sort of tax on that that's being, subsidized from the state back to the federal government. It just, all this bullshit.
Yeah.
And most of it is bullshit. I was reading something the other day that that kind of took me for a lick because I was like, damn. But I was reading that how they ask you, a lot of these restaurants and things like that, they'll have the donation station right there. Do you want to round up? Blah blah blah. And I was reading it said that the majority of those businesses already paid the charity, like they've made their donation, they wrote it off as a tax credit, and then
Hmm.
they're taking your donation to subsidize their donation, and they're just making the money back off of you. And I'm like, what?
Absolutely.
Yeah, those tip
I pulled
things.
that down. If you wanted to talk on that Venn diagram anymore, I can pull it back up. But
Yeah, pull
uh
it back up. We could talk about it.
Yeah,
Corey's
since the
about to give y'all
market's up
some
on,
early game on this thing.
just give me the game.
No, no, I just want to take
Oh,
a little look and see what's in here. This is interesting.
take a
This
peek.
kind of red brownish looking circle here.
I like to see Zcash in there. That's interesting. I didn't know that was American made crypto
So,
because that's a mixer.
so does that represent the ecosystem as well, or just the base token? Does that
These
cover
are
like,
just the made in the USA
yeah, yeah? But what
ones.
I'm saying is like, does that cover if you're trading a meme coin that was minted by somebody out of Thailand on the Solana network? Is that considered, because it is a Solana base, but then it extends out, into the finger of the ecosystem.
Yeah, see, I think that's probably where that
Yeah, that's probably
clarity
a
needs to
gray
come
area.
in, and
Right.
they haven't quite gotten into the weeds on that yet. And again,
That's
this is one of those things where it's like this was Eric Trump saying this, not that
mhm.
he doesn't know what he's talking about. If anybody has any insider information about what's happening inside, it would be him, and he's always been an advocate for cryptocurrency. So for him to come out and say that, I don't think it's wildly outlandish. It's I think it's probably going to be something within this barometer here. So that's just where I'm at.
You see the whole World Liberty Finance thing. So if you've noticed a lot of those tweets going around on X, people are talking about, what's in Donald Trump's wallet. They're all surprised that he has a lot of ETH in
Mm.
Aave, but it makes sense because he's part of this whole World Liberty Finance, and ETH has been had
Hmm.
decks on there to do, lending and borrowing and stuff like that,
Hmm.
more so versus some of these other chains. I mean, granted, maybe that's not their focus, and like you were saying, what they're trying to do, but um, I mean that no taxes again, just another bullish thing. I hope that comes in. They write that bill next week. That would be beautiful.
Yeah, and
Oh yeah.
it's almost like another one of those America, part of the America First campaign. Because it could have came out and said all crypto or whatever. Because that doesn't include Bitcoin. A lot of
I
people.
wonder, I wonder because this is going to open the can of worms because if he does do that, now I feel like he has to say, well, if you have any American based companies that you own stock on, there should be no capital gains tax. You get what
I'm
I'm saying?
completely down for
I
that.
mean, I'm down for it too, but I'm just saying like you're going to hear that argument come out. Like there's going
It
to
should
be
be.
the
There
guys
should be
in the stock world, they'll be
no.
like, if you're
Yeah.
going to do this for crypto, why aren't you doing it for American based traders and companies? If I buy Apple, I shouldn't get taxed on Apple when I sell it.
Well, I would rebuttal with just saying that one step at a time.
Well, I know I get that, but I'm just saying, even even this coming out and saying, I'm sure there's somebody out there already that's trying to drive this point home because they don't want to feel left out because they're getting their asses taxed
I-
and and crypto
yeah.
guys are not. So if they don't do it, it's just going to cause all these guys to go over here and be like,
Well, you don't think that's deflected a little bit with the no income tax, because the proposal for the no income tax is legitimate. So
yes.
if they can eradicate that, then I think the narrative around crypto being tax free would kind of lose its uh what am I looking for? And like it's an
Far
anomaly. So
fetchedness
yeah,
type. No, I get what you're saying. I don't necessarily think it
I don't
can't
think
happen. I'm saying if that does happen, it's gonna
yeah.
call for other people to be like, hey, why if you're gonna do it for that, why specifically that? That almost shows either that almost kind of tells me they want to push incentivize people from these other markets to get into crypto. Like, hey,
Mhm.
get at it. Screw selling a house and paying all these capital gains and all that crap.
Well,
Just
how
put
else
it
do
in
you
crypto.
change the whole monetary system? I mean,
That's
we're due
not that's
for it,
not that's not what I'm saying, but I'm just saying this is gonna happen because this is if this happens, well, I'm not saying it can't
and
happen.
it's new regulation, so they don't have anything. So they're trying to find out, like, okay, let's put this out, and then they may roll some stuff back. Great news is we're jumping in right at we've been in at the beginning, so we get to kind of reap the rewards of their kind of fuck ups along the way. Their lumps on the head, and they're going to figure it out, and they're going to get it how the stock market, not how the stock market is, but they're going to tailor it how the stock market has very defined rules. They will get the defined rules. It's just going to take time. And I get your side of the argument, but it's a brand new thing. And the government I look at it like the NIL um,
Deals.
transfer portal. And it's
Uh,
just like they rolled it out. They didn't have a ton of like guardrails on it, and it's still kind of the wild west out there for these guys. And then they have to kind of pull it back in and figure out how to make it work.
no, and
They
they and they
they
will.
found nuances along the way.
It will. But this is kind of the point of crypto just changing things in general. Because it is new, they give it a zero capital gains tax. It's going to cause things that been around that been getting taxed to not have taxes or very little taxes in them. But that's kind of what his whole thing is that he's doing. He's doing the things that people have been wanting as far as like not paying taxes on their
We've been
wages and
calling
all
for that
that.
for a while.
He cuts that out. He cuts capital gains tax out, and he wants to tax other countries and things like that in business. So it fits in what he's trying to do. I could see it happening, but I just feel like it's gonna make a big push for other things to be with less taxes, which I'm all for. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. It's a great thing. Because like I said, I've never understood the the excuse of people being like, oh, well, if we don't pay taxes, they like to be like, oh, your roads are going to get paved and this and this. And it's like, that's BS because I'm still going out to shop. I'm still going out to eat. I'm still buying gas, I'm still buying groceries and we're paying taxes and all that. You can't, we generate tax and money in other ways too. Why are you taking it from the people? Just if people have more money, they will spend more money. Like it's gonna
Boils
happen.
down to what I was saying earlier, just that micro economy type stuff. You no taxes, you make a ton of money on crypto, it's going right back into your local economy. It's a stimulus check without giving a stimulus check,
You ever
without
watch Cocaine
turning the money.
Cowboys?
Yes.
Okay, prime example. Miami was kind of slow back then. All that money that was coming in from the drugs, even though it was illegal, stimulated the local economy. The businesses, the dealerships, the real estate market was booming. It's seen an influx of cash.
Yep.
That's kind of the same situation, but you know, the money isn't coming from drug money, it's coming from people having excess money that they didn't have before. So yeah, bullish, another good thing to keep the fucking dice
Big
rolling in the
bull
right
marker.
direction.
Yep.
It,
All
we're
right.
getting we're getting a bunch of small little victories. So when it comes to the price not pumping,
But are
people
they
don't get
small?
discouraged. They're not, but it seems like if you're getting in right now, it feels small, because you're what you think it's
what she
big.
said.
You're looking at the chart
Hey,
or you're looking at the price and you're like, oh, this happened. The price is gonna go up. It's gonna blow up, and it doesn't. That's why I say don't get tied up in the news events. Learn the charts, learn 4-year cycles, learn the fundamentals, stick with that. Obviously, pay attention to the news so you can be in the know of what's going on and hip to things, but don't base your investments and your trades off of news. Good example, I have a friend today. He put a long in on Apple, or was it Apple? No, Microsoft. They had their earnings today. Their earnings came out good, better than expected. The price still dropped. Get what I'm saying? Like that's how they trick you. That's how they get you. So that's on a trading tip.
Well,
But
friend, I'm sorry Corey put you on blast. We'll
well,
act like we
no,
never heard
hey,
that.
he's an example. I'll use myself an example too.
I know. I'm pulling your leg. Bitcoin sitting at a casual 104. That's
Mm,
the, I mean, we talked about, I think, like episode, we talked about it multiple times. One, two, three. Like, you look at these, just using Bitcoin as the staple. It's like we look at this and we're like, oh, it's 104. Oh my God. Like 104 is phenomenal. We were asking to be over 100K not long ago. And here we are. We're just hanging out there, just sideways. Like that's uh you gotta zoom out. You gotta zoom
You
out.
got to zoom
We keep
out.
saying that, but you gotta zoom out because
Can you already believe it's been 3 months since this all kind of started really taking off? Like
since
mm,
November,
November, yeah.
the beginning of November.
Yep.
You know what I'm
November
saying?
5th specifically,
We
ladies and
went
gentlemen.
from what
12:06 a.m.
65, 70 or 68
If you were in the
to
market,
90,000.
just about, I don't want to say everything, but a lot of stuff 3x from November.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
If I put
Ripple,
like a
XRP,
roundabout number
4x.
on it.
Yeah.
Everything in the top
340%.
100, for sure,
Yeah.
3x or more.
You're if you were in the market, you 3x, if not more, maybe a little less on some of them, but you did all right already. So congratulations to you folks. Uh it's it's only gonna get better. The new, like Corey was saying, the news isn't everything, but it's a way to stay informed. It's a way to make educated decisions on how you want to move your money in the future. Financial literacy is huge. Stop stop putting your money in places that is not required, ladies and gentlemen. You create your own debt. Me and Nate talked about this earlier today. You create your own debt. Everything you have, motherfucker, I rode around in terrible cars for a long time just to put more money in my pocket. Like, you don't need the brand new cars. You don't need all that. You have no one to impress.
It's not even that you don't need it. You probably can't fucking afford it, to be honest with you.
Yeah, but I mean, like, if you look at the casual, folks in our demographic, their net worth is push some debts down or get rid of them, get the used car, ride the hoopty for a little bit, save some money. And not even, I hate saying save money because when I say
Invest
save
some money.
money, yeah, when I say save money, I save my money differently than everybody else. And I know these guys do as well. I don't put it in a little bank account that you have your emergency fund, but I don't put it in a bank account that's gonna just it's gonna rot there. The bank isn't they ain't helping you out. They ain't that just like the government ain't here to save you. We talk about the government all the time, but they ain't gonna save you, and the bank ain't gonna save you. So put your money in a place where it'll work for you so you can grow and put yourself and your family in a better position in 5 to 10 years. Stop playing around with these savings accounts. That's antiquated. It's old. It's outdated. You don't want it. Sorry.
That was a
Soapbox.
good one. That was a good one. That's a short. That's a good one. Nate, clip it up.
That's one
Drop
of
it.
that's one of his ticks. He tells me in the comments. It's a short.
It's a
Never
tick.
mind. Never.
Getting into Ripple money
Hello.
transmitter license in New York and Texas. Nate, tell them fools what it's about.
What is it about? I mean, it's just kind of having the processing license to be able to distribute and transact in cryptocurrency, specifically Ripple in this case, but others are coming. I wouldn't be surprised if some sort of Bitcoin infrastructure was already in place with a lot of these people. But again, it's just a part of that adoption, red wave, whatever wave you want to call it, bull market, all these things that are being, implicated here and implemented as well. So it's just, you love to see it up and up. So how many states? That's two states that are talking about transactional access at that level for businesses and whatever, McDonald's, I don't know. But all the other states with reserves, don't you think they'll start transacting the same way? Because there'll still be a tax on it at the state level to the state government, and then so on and so forth, probably from the federal. But, and I mean that from the business, they'll tax the business for transacting, but they'll get their money that way. So I think you're running out of time. I mean, I can't say it enough. You're just
Yeah.
time is closing in.
You know what I find interesting about this specific topic is you got Texas and New York, very polarizing states as far as the way they're run and who's running them and the demographics of the states. That's the part that I find very interesting about the approvals. I mean, I'm happy it's happening, and I agree it's just going to keep on rolling. The licenses will keep on rolling in, but I find that very interesting.
Yeah, now everybody has the framework for what that paperwork needs to look like being submitted. So just copy or download, copy, text edit, my state, my jurisdiction, my tax collection office. You know what I mean? Like it's not,
Copy
it's,
paste,
somebody already,
Control V.
yeah, somebody already pioneered this. So you don't have to go through these hula hoops of figuring out what exactly I needed to say to make it through this. So I think that'll just help it as well.
Just a little bit more clarity. Well, keeping with Ripple, them and Ondo have the OUSG. They're tokenizing the U.S. Treasuries on the XRP ledger. Pretty big, pretty big stuff there.
Yeah,
I
we've been
mean,
talking about Ondo. Been talking about it for a little minute.
talking about Ondo for a hot minute, and I think the big news that can't be overshadowed is it seemed like last week everybody was arguing. They're like, oh, Bitcoin is going to be the reserve, and then no, XRP is going to be a reserve. And it was like this tug of war of like
Babies.
just creators making noise across the airwaves. And it was, I mean, it's foolish because you're not building the community, you're not helping the community, and you're just creating more divide in the community. I get it. You guys are just trying to get likes and follows and all the other bullshit, but you're fucking with us. You're fucking with where we're trying to go and where we're trying to bring this thing. So knock it the fuck off.
It's stupid as tribalism.
It is tribalism. It's
It's the
apes.
My
maxis.
coin's better than your coin. Like
Yeah, but it's
it's like
beyond that. Like you just have to understand it's not even practical. How many of these people screaming at you that, Bitcoin's the only one that can have a reserve or multi invested in the, other assets, other cryptos, other company, all these other things. It's again, you're not gonna hold your stuff in one place, diversify and move on. Why not have an altcoin reserve if they're gonna go up? They have value, they have utility. So to
well, that's the
deny
thing.
to deny that is just delusional. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna add that. I mean, they're all Bitcoin does. It's the store of value. Nobody plans on transacting in Bitcoin. Nobody plans on selling Bitcoin. Most people just buy it to hold. The ones that are selling, they're the ones that are losing money. The holders don't plan on ever moving it. You got XRP. They're aiming at integrating with the banks and basically laying the foundation and the railways for the new payment infrastructure that's coming in. Then you got things like Ondo that are going to be focused on tokenization of stocks, securities, and RWAs.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, so everybody's doing, well, not everybody, but most projects are focusing on their own thing. So just the Bitcoin maxis, like, don't get me wrong, I'm all for Bitcoin, but they're not going to be tokenizing things necessarily on blockchain. When Larry Fink is on the Squawk Box saying, the SEC needs to rapidly approve tokenization. That's not going to happen on Bitcoin. That's going to happen on Ondo. They're I think BlackRock's even a backer of the project. So they already have their blockchain ready to
they're
go.
in all kinds of they're H bar, they're in Ondo, they're in all kinds of different.
They're ready to go. They have their chains. When they get the green light, these chains are going to see an explosion in price because they're going to see a lot of money flowing in.
So I just want to say that if Satoshi Nakamoto was out there, he would probably respond with something very similar to what Brad Garlinghouse said. And I would like to read what he said because he kind of, I thought it was such a great response to all this BS. Some thoughts on maximalism. Let me say this clearly as I can. The crypto industry has a real shot here and now to achieve many goals we have in common. If we work together instead of tearing each other down, this is not and never will be a zero sum game. I own XRP, Bitcoin, and Ethereum, among a handful of others. We live in a multi chain world, and I advocated for a level playing field instead of one token versus another. He says some other stuff. I'm not going to go into it, but like, how great of a response is that? I mean, like, he covered all, he smoothed it, right? It just, I don't know. And he's one of the top dogs at XRP. So it's like, what more could you want to hear? He's not pointing the finger at the other side. Granted, there's nobody to point the finger at, but I imagine if Satoshi was here, he'd be like, "What are you guys, you idiots? Knock it off." Like, can we just agree that is there too much happy in the world that you're bringing this negativity in? Is that what's going on here? Like, there's just no reason for it. So
They're just mad
I'm
because it wasn't their coin.
yeah. I mean, and sure, there's going to be so many wins along the way.
Yeah.
You can't get mad at the other team for winning. I mean, you
For
can't win
playing.
all the time. Hell, I mean, Pat Mahomes had to lose a couple times in his season to get his Super Bowl. We're all going to get our Super Bowl.
Hmm.
Nate's deep in some thought over there. He's taking notes, ladies and gentlemen. He's about to fire them motherfuckers off on us. All right. Well, we're going to move on. Uh, since we have stayed with XRP, the last thing I'm going to say is the case has been moved to the Court of Appeals. We'll see what happens. Like I said, it's been going on for 4 years. Who knows when it's going to end? Hopefully soon with this pro crypto administration, they're going to see the light in the tunnel and say, let it ride. I want to jump into Senator Cynthia Loomis. She proposed the strategic Bitcoin reserve. She wants to buy 200,000 Bitcoin annually for 5 years. Huge.
A
That is
million Bitcoin.
huge. And then she's saying hold it for at least 20 years. That'll have the national debt in 20 years. Can you believe it?
Just a strong number. So again, I think
It's hard to believe.
and I think it's fine. Like Bitcoin reserve, altcoin reserve, altcoin reserve, meme coin reserve. Who cares? Just money. They print it.
Oh, yeah. And I mean, she goes and talks about how you're almost instantly, we've talked about it in previous episodes, you're going to make that money back almost instantly. It's between the national reserve and the state level. Again, can you believe it? I mean, where could it go?
The man.
It's going somewhere. We got to get it together. We got to get it together. You got Utah, you got Arizona. Arizona's approved their public funding 10% into Bitcoin and other digital assets. Massive step right there. Another rung on the ladder. Utah gave the green light. Hey, let's do it. Let's get this reserve going for our state. Let's get these folks up and running. You got South Dakota state representative Logan Manhart plans to introduce a bill to create the strategic Bitcoin reserve in their state. people, if you don't own any, take the $5 from your Twinkie that you're buying at the Sitco, the Wawa, the lame ass Buckies that y'all get so hyped about. Fuck that brisket sandwich. It's terrible. Newsflash, not good. Bathrooms are pretty solid because they got somebody on hand. Put that $5 into some Bitcoin. You don't need a whole damn Bitcoin. Put a $5 bill in there. Thank us later. It's going up. You can't stop it. The train is it's gone. It left the station. We're on the tracks. They're just steady approving shit. This is the framework, the ground, the foundation. The tracks are on. The train is on the tracks. The motherfucker is moving. Get with the program.
And it's not getting banned.
It's not getting
It's
banned.
not getting banned.
And if
People
you think for 1 second that if we approve this reserve nationally, I mean, states are about to do it. They're hitting the Senate floor. If it gets approved nationally and you think that it's going to go to zero, I can't even say hit the Chiba because you could be high as fuck and still make that's not a bad move. You have to be on some fentanyl or some stupid shit.
Yes.
Y'all got me piped up tonight.
Let's go. Let's go. He's getting fired up.
He's angry.
Well, I just like the excuses.
I have
Take
no
some
excuses.
fucking accountability for yourselves.
Well,
Stop
that's a
wasting your
whole
money on
different issue.
stupid shit and put a little bit aside for your family.
Fuck them.
Everybody has money, extra money that they spend on whatever it is. Whether that's you go out to eat too much, whether you gamble too much, whether you drink too much, whether you smoke too much, you could just all you gotta do is just shave back like this much or whatever that hobby is and that habit, uh, and just throw that extra cash over here. That's all you gotta
Funny.
do.
I suggested that to somebody I know today.
You were talking about it as kind of that point earlier about getting a little cheap car, getting a little slider instead of getting in debt and all that stuff. Build up your cash. That way you can move and put some pieces on the board.
Half of y'all
'Cause-
motherfuckers ain't going anywhere anyway. What you need a car for?
If you live in the
Good.
city, use public transportation. What? Because you're paying for a fucking parking spot or a parking garage. Like, I'm not going to go down the rabbit hole. Get me charged up tonight.
I definitely don't live in anything like that.
Well,
but
yeah, but you
I've
know,
been
some
exposed.
folks.
I've been to your
some-
Phillies and your jerseys and your communist countries up there.
There's plenty of ways to get around to say that it's not even about transportation. There's plenty of ways to save, to invest. A motherfucker can invest $1 a month. That's still investing. Don't be shamed by that. Just invest. Just take the step. Take the step for yourself.
I was saying the same thing today on the phone. All you gotta do is put $20 a week. I don't care what the dollar amount is. Like you
It
said,
don't matter.
it's $1. Just put it in. Just do it. The only thing you have to make sure you do is you do it consistently. Whatever your schedule is, whether it's daily, weekly, monthly, bi-weekly, shit, quarterly. I don't whatever. Every year you get your income tax, throw it in the market. Money you didn't have last month, might as well just throw it in the market.
There's a few other things I want to touch on before we leave this. SUI is I'm very bullish on SUI. They've now teamed up with Phantom Wallet, and you'll soon be able to transact through text messaging. I think that's huge. They're doing
no internet.
No internet. Yeah,
No
that's
internet.
very important to the state. Great point, Corey. That is huge. Nate, you need some bucks?
Absolutely.
Send it your way.
Oh, I
Impressive.
thought it was
I
real.
love.
I thought we were going to do a real time demonstration.
Yes, it's weird. My phone ran out of juice.
Mm.
Mm.
You would have
So
said that.
SUI is
That's
doing
never gonna pass.
SUI continues to innovate. They're very forward facing on the socials about what they're doing. I love their projects. Again, it's a US based company. So just saying,
That means tax free, ladies and gentlemen.
that means tax free. That means throw a dollar in it, see what happens.
At least buy you one of them. Come on now. Gamble a little bit. Spend
We better
370.
have about, yeah, say about $5 or something like that. Where are we at
Let's do
SUI?
it.
Three
Content.
seventy nine. $5 gonna get you one and a third.
What if you own 1 1/3 Bitcoin, Ethereums? What if? What if you owned 11.5?
Worth noting today, Jerome Powell had his few minutes of fame today. He came out, said that they're going to hold the interest rates where they are, 4.25 and 4.5, that range. Um, he also stated banks are perfectly able to serve crypto customers. What do you guys think that means?
They're ready to adopt XRP and Ondo and XLM and HBAR, Algo, all of your favorites, all your favorite ISO crypto tokens, ladies and gentlemen. Don't play games. You heard about it here on episode 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What we going on 7 tonight
7.
at the time of the release. So I mean, I don't know. I don't stop at green lights. Yeah, I'm like
Facts.
Bars.
I mean, there's just so much crypto news that has come out in the past week. I'm sure we skipped over a few of them. But that's where we're at this week. Since we hit all those points, now you know what we about to do. I want Corey to give me some coins this week.
Uh, Cardano,
Cardano,
Cardano, Crow,
Crow,
Bitcoin,
Bitcoin.
and
Two more.
two more. XRP. I say XRP already.
Nope.
XDC.
XDC.
You know, y'all sleep on
Mixed it up
everybody
this
sleep
week.
on XDC.
Mixed it up this week.
There was word that they're going into Washington and they're going to start working with the current administration. So that's again, people just I feel like people are just going numb to the news at this point. Like it's just overwhelmed. They're just like, good. It's too much, and then they don't know
There's
what they're
so much
doing.
news. Yeah.
So it's yeah, it's bullish all the way around. Just get in, be patient. Don't don't FOMO when price is going up, and don't have fear when the price is dropping. We've been in the range I showed you last week and the episode before. We've been sitting in this range for 2 weeks almost going on now. And she's trying to break out. We have resistance at 104.5. We break that and we get past that. We're gonna go back to 108. That's the number we need to really break so we can get into this all-time high territory. It's all right
Okay.
because just like from when was that? April to October or whatever, that 6 month period where everybody was just falling asleep, price was boring, kept thinking we were going to break above 70, and then we get back down to 50. And we're basically going through a mini version of that right now, but the floor has just moved. Now our floor is at 98. So we go up to 104, 108, go back down to 99, 99, 98, and then keep doing it again. And the more
Did
it
you
keeps
pull a okey doke on me? So did you just go straight in to give me some game?
Oh, I might have, but
So
that's not the
long.
game I'm gonna give. I have other game that I want to give,
Okay,
but
okay, okay.
I'm just talking in general. I can see the chart here. My point was, don't freak out.
Don't
Again,
panic.
believe it or not, this is gonna be a little more boring. It's gonna be more boring times than there are exciting times. But when it's exciting, it is exciting. So that's all. I'll leave it at that.
All right, we got Corey's.
This
You
boy
already know what time it is.
this boy be cutting me off 15 cold, man.
My
Crumble
bad.
my
My
shit.
bad.
Not you, this one. We're gonna go with Bitcoin, Litecoin, XRP, H bar, and I'm gonna throw Ondo in the mix.
Boy, I'm big bullish
Strong,
on Ondo.
Of
strongish,
course they are, Tony.
strong.
I'm big bullish on Ondo.
And those last three are all partnered with each other in some way, shape, or form. So
Facts. I bought. I ain't gonna lie. I bought Ondo today. Said
hello.
Okay.
let me
Okay. Full
slide into some
disclosure.
Ondo today.
H bar
Yeah.
and XRP are looking to do a partnership with SafeLock, quantum proofing the network, satellite communication, all kind of crazy. H bar pushing that envelope, typical, tied to AI, tied to everything. ISO. What do you want? What do you want? Compliance? You want innovation? You want longevity? Do you want tokenization? Do you want
RWAs.
NFTs, RWAs.
that's the tokenization? RWAs,
I
NFTs,
want it all.
intellectual property, space organics, fucking asteroid. They found DNA
I
in the
feel like
asteroid.
I feel like if we were playing
Slide
a
that in
game
there.
of Twister, I'm
Nah,
laying on that
nah,
fucking.
fam. Turn.
Hold on. We gotta
I'm
walk it back a little bit. Who
I'm
found
laying on the whole fucking mat trying to cover all the bases.
who found DNA on the comet?
That's an after hours topic.
Oh man, I'm interested. I don't educate them.
I'm gonna have to
Well,
find it, but it was a U.S. probe from 2019 or something like that. They just got
oh,
the organic samples back, and they found the basis of DNA on the asteroid. I'll have to look a little further into it. We'll break it down for you.
See, just blew our listeners' eardrums out.
That's
All
all right. You've been
right,
screaming all night.
that's that's the coins of the week. I'm big, but I'm big. Like I said, I'm big bull on Ondo. So if you want mine, Ondo, Bitcoin, always Bitcoin, XRP, XLM, and Toshi. If you want a meme coin to throw in there.
Oshi. Speaking of meme coins. I mean, they ain't do nothing crazy, but some of them are moving. Dog with hat was up there, up like 15%.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that thing's been in the slumps for a little while. So some of these old meme coins might see some life soon,
Mm-hmm.
especially
And
when
and
retail
but
gets here.
what's crazy is Toshi is on base.
Hmm.
So
It's on Coinbase, base,
yep.
Coinbase.
Brett too.
Brett, yep. I got some Brett. I told you, I'm on that damn twister board laid out. I'm trying to touch every dot on that motherfucker. I want to make sure if something hit, bing, I got it. We with it. All right, Corey, hit him with some game this week, fam.
All right, the game this week is DCA. And this goes into what we kind of were touching on earlier. DCA is dollar cost averaging. It's the easiest, most simple hands-off investing strategy you could do. You don't have to watch the news. You don't have to watch charts. You don't have to do none of that. You don't have to listen to us. Uh, you just set yourself up on a schedule, whatever you're comfortable with, whether that's whenever you get paid or a daily thing, and you just invest whatever that amount is in a consistent basis, and you'll build up your portfolio over time. Obviously, the more money you have, the bigger your portfolio will be, but don't let that discourage you, even if it's a small amount, whether that's at $5, $10, or $20. Just do it for a period of time, and you're going to be buying tops, bottoms, the way down and the way up, and at the end of the day, your average will be lower, probably versus you trying to beat the market and time the market and when to guess when these tops and bottoms are. Because at the end of the day, you're not going to time it. Even the best traders don't always get the perfect tops and bottoms. Like that's a very small percentage of people. So you're not a professional trader. Don't try to do what professional traders are doing or investors. Uh, the story of the guy who invested $30 a day for 7 years is a great example. He invested what, like $86,000. His average cost in Bitcoin was like something crazy low. I want to say like 20 grand, and the guy made over $1 million or something on his portfolio. Well, I sent it in the group chat to you guys. We'd have to pull
Yeah,
it up,
yeah,
but
yeah.
the moral of the story is uh it's a hands-off approach, and it's kind of the best thing for new people to getting in. Excuse me, new people getting into the space, and that's crypto, that's stocks, that's whatever you want to do it. So DCA into your favorite crypto or into these crypto baskets.
Hell, I
Don't
think Robinhood even has a whole like DCA like uh
automatic payments.
well, yeah, I mean they all have that, but like there's like they have a little educational like video to teach you
Mm,
on how to do it. Not that we get paid or anything by Robinhood, just saying that's a resource.
true. No, I mean, take advantage of all your resources. Definitely do that. You got to do that. Learn as much as you can. Uh, if you're going to be investing into something, you should be educating yourself on it. But again, as far as like if you're not wanting to be in it every day like we are, then I would highly suggest taking a DCA approach. Even if you are still DCA, that might look different for everybody. I try to do it every other week, if not like one big purchase a month. Whenever I feel like the market, if we hit a red day, I'm like, all
Yeah.
right, it's time to jump in.
I say us that are in the trenches,
Yeah,
we waiting on them red days.
when everybody's screaming, I mean, Buffett said it best. When others are fearful, you should be greedy. So when everybody's scared, the price is dropping, panicking, you need to go buy some right now. Don't, oh, I'll get it tomorrow. I'll go buy it right now. And same thing when the price is going up. When others are being greedy, you should be fearful, meaning you should be cautious and be like, you know, everybody's coming in. I thought they were going to come in around X price. They're coming in now. Let me go ahead and take a little bit of profit. That doesn't mean you have to be all in your bag. And this is a big point. This is another big point. Not only do you DCA in, but you DCA out too. So you can sell
Correct.
little bits here and there, taking your profit out. You're going to be selling at top. So anytime you see it hit a high, grab some money. It hits another high. Grab some money. Sit and chill. Oh, big drop.
Pieces, pieces,
Yeah,
pieces.
little pieces. That all in and all out, you're exposing yourself to too much risk. Because
And you're ruining your position. I mean, you would ideally if you know that like the three of us think that this thing is gonna blow the lid off eventually to but you could still get a piece of the pie right now during this bull run. You're not gonna pull out everything and lose your position. If you got in on uh H bar or a XLM or a XRP at a 9 cent or whatever have you. I mean, I'm just throwing out random numbers here. At 9 cent and it's up at, 45, a dollar. Don't leave your entire position. Leave a little scratch in there. That way when you buy back in during the bear market, you're still in at a very low number. So it doesn't hurt even if you get back in.
for sure.
100%. And just to piggyback off of what Corey was saying, even outside of crypto, you can look into these automated direct reinvestment programs, drip programs, whatever you're using that looks at that. So it automatically reinvests your dividends as you accumulate that. So it's not just sitting in, dividend stash or somewhere in a cash account on one of your portfolios that's not making you any money. So just go ahead and automate that too. You never seen it. You never worried about it.
Well said. Well said.
I
All
mean,
right.
staking does that for you automatically. So we don't have to talk about it when it comes to crypto. There's no other choice.
Well, that's been Corey's segment of Give Me Some Game. All right. Here's what I'm dealing with tonight. Little Smoke Eye Hill here. Barrel proof. Coming in at a cool 131.4. Does not drink like that. I know it's high proof, but it does not drink like that. It drinks like a 120 if you really had to ask me. I told Nate earlier when I pulled this topper off, if I threw this hard enough, I could probably do a Randy Johnson and take out a fucking bird with it. It is heavy.
What is it
Anyways,
made of?
it's like a lead top. I don't know. It's just it's cork, but it's it's
Yeah.
lead. It's one of oh, it's oddly heavy. Um MGP juice, their thing here is like it's a blue corn, yellow corn. They have their own proprietary stuff out of Indiana here, heirloom. Ooh, listen, I've revisited this bottle a couple times. When I first opened it, it was okay. Um, it's really opened up now that the air has hit it. It's starting to grow on me. It's a very young juice. It's like 5 years old, maybe a little bit older. There's a lot of information out there about it. It was like people touted it as the stag killer. I don't know about all that. I've never done a blind with it, but right off the rip, a little bit of syrup on the nose. I get some type of pastries going on in there. A little bit of like just some brandy notes in there. I'm gonna get into it. So initially, I get a little bit of a burn. It's very, very like God. I hate saying it, but it's whiskey talk. It's like very creamy on the palate. Um, I get a little bit, just a little bit of like raisin note through it. Let me go back in. I kind of get a little bit of like Twizzler as well. Kind of wild, but yeah. So I get Twizzler, and then it finishes off with oak and tobacco. Uh, some floral on the back end for the finish. Overall, I think it's very good. The whole tasting has really fucked me up because when I went to Oklahoma 2 weekends ago, a buddy of mine hit me with the nosing kit and we went through the onslaught of it and all those smells and like tying them to the flavors has kind of like tweaked my entire like thought process of how I deduce and get to where I'm getting. But nonetheless, Smoke Eye Hill, solid whiskey. It like I said, it's about $85 MSRP, give or take. Not bad for what it is. So, having that said, we'll jump on into Elon Musk and his Starlink has now he's made the innovation so it can now communicate to Apple. I think
Direct interface.
it's if we're talking on that scale, it's a pretty huge accomplishment.
Just another one that he's accomplished, another net positive, but
We can't look at it that way. That gets one sided.
you can do a lot of great things.
So keeping with Elon, he was kindly asked by 47 to go up to the International Space Station and retrieve the two astronauts that have been stuck up there for some time. before we started the podcast, we were kind of bantering about it. It's wild that we essentially just abandon these folks in space. It's like, I don't know. I think you get abandoned. You talk about it on. Like, what music would you listen to if you're abandoned on an island? Motherfucker, what would you listen to if you was stuck in space? There is nothing. It's just there's not an ocean. What is the noise of space? Is it just the humming of the machines that you have up there? Your fucking tube of toothpaste bouncing off of the walls? I don't know.
There's some
It's
people up there. I mean, they're at the space, they're at the ISS or whatever it is. So there's a few different astronauts there. So I think, but the other thing was that they were stuck in their capsule at one point. I swear to God that this was already a thing and they made some moves because for some reason, I want to believe that they weren't able to make it there at some point in time. But I don't know what was deployed or what was implemented to get that capsule or whatever they were floating in. I can't remember exactly what it was. Some sort of Boeing spacecraft. I know that for sure. And so they made it to the International Space Station, like I said. So they have a little company, which is good because again, just two people floating around in endless space, forever expanding space and time and all that shit would be pretty nuts. But the fact that it has taken this long, again, this is just another indication of what we've been looking at for multiple years. The fact that there is so much news, the fact that there is so much going on within what we're looking at a week now, a full business week, and some change going on 2 weeks. But it's just significant. I think it's great. You always see it. Private industry is going to come in and save the government. No shocker there. Can't get the job done. But to your point, where you say they abandoned these people in space, man, they've abandoned people on Earth. They left people in,
true.
whatever
North Carolina, California.
that extractions from Afghanistan, all these different places. And then somehow these people all become pawns in this great weird ideology politics that we do here. And it's like, that's some, this real shit that happened to these people. We just fuck them.
Well, to just kind of anchor in the what we were talking about here. He said on Truth Social, they've been waiting for many months on space station. So these guys have been up, or guys and gals, I don't know exactly their gender, but they've been up there for a hot minute. And I believe it's the same folks that the Biden administration had talked about going to get back in November, before that, September.
Yeah, let's say it's close to the summertime, I believe.
Yeah. I was just trying to give them an ounce of credit there, but
Zero.
that's wild.
They don't
That's
deserve
wild.
credit. They're not credible.
Bars.
I mean, just look at it. You got fires, the drone. The ladies and gentlemen called it right here on this podcast, episode 3, whatever the fuck drone episode. Go find it. It's in there. American. My problem now, it's been established these are American drones, were American drones, all of them, obviously. FAA, everything we talked about in that episode. But my problem now is they were deployed for research and what were the terms she said? I know she said research and something else. It's like, okay, well now what the fuck was y'all researching? The FAA approved these missions for the government entities to fly these drones, and I don't know. You cover it
Yeah.
up,
Uh,
you shy
by
away from the questions, and then you come back around and get exposed. And now we get to wonder the bigger question, the meta question.
she, he meant Press Secretary Carolyn Levitt.
Another competent person behind the White House podium. Can you believe it?
It's amazing, monumental. Came out. It is. I mean, it's like
It is. I'm
it's
laughing because
crazy to even think of, like, to say that, but like all we ever ask for is like give us fair and reasonable information. And yeah, it's research, and it could be, we can overanalyze it, but it could be something as simple as like, how long can we fly these? But that was a different administration, so we have no idea what they were actually doing. Don't like it. Glad that we got an answer that it was hobbyists and FAA drones. I'm glad that it was that. and not the latter
I
foreign.
mean, the crazy thing is that's the best answer.
That is the best answer. It's the answer that I think most folks are okay with.
Because if they come out and they said, well, they were Chinese drones spotting for ISIS or, whatever, pick an
Yeah,
organization. It just, wow.
could have been way worse.
But this is where I'm saying the credibility is not good. But yeah, the White House press secretary, wow, wow, wow. I
Yep,
laughed like that because I had just seen the clip before we went on and it was KJP. And she was like, I am, it's like a formal speech. She's like, I'm a black woman wearing a whatever color dress she had on, standing at. And I was just like, what the fuck are we talking about? Or a gay black woman. Yeah, it was crazy.
yeah,
Then they bring in her first clip and she's just dominating this thing. So, not super aggressive, but I think tone dependent. It was
firm.
not just firm, but that's, these people, the way they've been talking to them and it's just weird, man. You
Yeah,
go from one administration who their speakers saying that questions are dangerous. Peter Ducey asked a question. She said that's a dangerous question and I can't answer it. And then you ask this, a very specific question on the other side. You get specific data, specific numbers, specific legislation, specific. Here's what was said. Yeah, it's just interesting to me. And people still hate that. It's like, what the fuck do y'all want?
it's the pendulum swing. One side's gonna love it when it's this way, and the other side's gonna love it when it's that way. We'll never find the medium ground. It's just not gonna happen.
Well, it just
Uh,
feels like an overcorrection for a lot of people because it's so, it's just so different.
Very
I was
different, which
I
is
was
what she
reading
said
something.
in
Yeah,
the
she's like,
in one of her.
this is a culture shift, which
Hmm.
I just read something the other day. It was like the most staggering thing you could tell somebody these days is the truth, and it's like it's so hard. Some of it's so hard to believe, and you don't want to believe it, or whatever. You want to live in a delusion, or your truth, your truth. My people out there, do what you do, but here's the real data, and they still want to. You still want to argue with that. They want to sit up here in Congress and scream at all these people who ain't doing nothing but, I ain't gonna say nothing but good. I can't vouch for anybody but myself. But at the same time, it's like watching Elizabeth Warren grill RFK about taking money from some sort of pharmaceutical company or deal is just laughable.
Very laughable. So, looking at the kind of tying in with what you were just talking about, let me close this out. Looking at the debt clock here, Doge has currently saved 35 billion million. Sorry,
It's got to be more than that. They saved 50 million on condoms in Gaza alone.
I'm looking at it right here. I mean, it says 35 million. However, look what Caroline Levitt said. Doge and OMB found that there was 37 million that was about to go out the door to the WHO, World Health Organization. That got shut down. Beautiful. Love it. Keep that 37 in house. And then there was 50 million that was about to go out the door on condoms to Gaza. That's wild. There's not even the populace isn't even that much. You want to sit here and tell me
You know what I mean?
that that is not some type of there's not some other stuff going on there. I mean, I want to throw the word out there, but I'm not accusing anyone.
That's
But
called
it
money
seems like
laundering.
something. Yeah,
Money
it seems like
laundering.
yes, it seems
I'll
like
say it one
there's
more time. It's called money laundering.
seems like some real sus stuff going on over there. But we caught it, thankfully, caught it. So I'm happy. Like so far, so good. Doge, dap up, keep doing what you're doing. Elon and Vivek brought in some smart folks to kind of narrow down and figure out where some of these losses they were taking were. And it seems like it's panning out already. I'm with it. You're on mute, Corey.
Can you hear me now?
Yep,
I say it is 35 billion. Uh,
billion.
yeah, billion, not million. 35 billion.
Yeah, billion.
Um,
That damn that that number's rolling so fast. It looks a lot less than that. Billion. Well, there you. But I mean, like that's crazy. 35 billion, and they've been in for what 9 days?
yeah.
Approaching. Yeah,
They've
10.
been at
Will it
work
be
for
10 days
probably
business days?
with okay. Well, I guess Doge was probably established a little bit before that, so they were kind of looking into it a little bit before that. But even still, you mean to tell me we saved 35 billion already, and we couldn't get any type of help to our folks in North Carolina. We couldn't get any type of aid to California.
Well, they did it.
But yeah, well, that's where I was going with it. 47 comes in. This man, by the way, gets up at 5 a.m., does a big presser, talks to the people, goes to North Carolina, talks to the people. He's boots on the ground, flies out to Cali, does a presser, cooks Miss Bass. I don't know what she was thinking, even trying to step to the plate against this man with the most bogus remarks.
I mean, she had to say something.
I think saying nothing was probably going to be better than saying something. She just made
You
an
have
ass
to
of
say
herself.
something. I'm not saying she didn't. No, I totally agree. I think it's great. I think the accountability is great. I think it's amazing to see the president pull up in a place where they just had an incident or a mass incident and put people. I don't want to say put people in check. We everybody speaking very authoritative, but that's what happened. It's not even that. It's just accountability. Like you can't just sit here and lie and nobody's going to say anything because you're the highest ranking member in the room. Well, guess what? The president's sitting, two positions down from you, and he's definitely going to ask you a question or make you look ridiculous because it is ridiculous. You can't, 6 months, weeks, XYZ. It's already been multiple weeks for some of these people, and they can't do anything because there's some sort of regulation. You can't get water here because of environmental regulation. You can't do this, you can't do that. But 3 days after they get in there, they got water turned on. You got Trump in California, you got Vance in North Carolina. They're pulling up, renting out hotels, apartment complexes, putting people up. It's like none of this could have happened during the love everybody individual, all this bullshit campaign.
It's not a problem until it affects you. So, I love that. You know, it's like it's like if something goes wrong at work, like real wrong, you got your supervisor, but there's the big boss that rolls in, and everybody stiffens up a little bit. That's essentially what happened. I just again, we're not trying to put like that authoritarianism label, but it's a his presence just commands a little bit of accountability amongst the people. I
Yeah.
think it was I love that he and even when he was president in his previous administration, when there was a natural disaster, he always pulled up. He never shied away from going to ground zero or whatever have you. He was if there was a hurricane in Florida, he was always pulling up, seeing what's going on. How can I help? What do y'all need? That and ultimately, I think that's like I said earlier, we don't want to depend on the government, especially the federal government, the national like honeypot. We don't want to depend on that. You want your state, local government to handle it, but it's a net, and it's nice to have that net when you really need it.
Not just that, but it's what the fuck we pay for it to be there for. I mean,
Correct.
that's
Yeah, yeah. But like that's what
you
you want to
better
see.
pull up on a national
When did we see
incident.
that with the old man?
Never. But that's what I'm saying. It's such a contrast and so fast that people are. it's insane. Like you think the narrative before would have been, why are they not doing any? Why are we not hearing anything? Why are we not seeing anything? Why is nobody here? And now it's like, okay, well, he's here and it's a problem. No, that's what real leadership is. Whether you like it or not, they pulled up, they made a decision. They said, here's the timeline. Most, I don't know any other jobs where you can go in and disagree with your boss and say, well, I don't know. You run the fucking state, you run the fucking city, you run everything in the city. Finger pointing is a joke. You did it for 2 weeks and you got pulled up on, and now you look like an idiot. Sorry, not sorry. You should have been there strategizing, but you're sitting in Ghana. You sitting in fucking Ghana doing what? we have we have positions. We have the head of state. We have people with foreign relations. We have people to do these things. You're the mayor. Take care of your people. We don't have any water. It's funny how I got turned on in 3 days.
Interesting. Very
Shady
interesting.
business. So this is off topic, but while you guys have been talking, Bitcoin's been kind of showing momentum since about
I'm watching.
hold on. Uh 1429 military, that's 1249.
1429,
Yep.
two
Two, it's
or
two. Oh, yeah. 1429. So since 1429, it was at 101. We're at 104. Remember, I told you we have resistance at 104.5. You know what? I'm just gonna screen share. It's gonna be better just to show you than explain it. I'll show you this. And this thing's lagging. All right.
Not a problem. Like the last administration.
uh,
All right. Prime example. This was a failed breakout attempt. Now my computer's having a stroke right now. All
well,
right.
there it is.
All right. So we pushed up on the 104, 100,000 and $482. And then we broke above. We got rejected. And now it's coming up and testing again. Not even just because of this whole little scenario, but you got a cup and handle that's in the midst of forming. And then again down here, we were down. No, that's not even a time frame. You got to go deeper. Here earlier in the day at 2 o'clock, 2:30. And you know what's funny? Do you know what happened at 2:30? Papa
Mate.
Powell.
Yeah,
Papa
yeah, yeah.
Powell made his announcement at 2 o'clock. So everybody was freaking out, selling off the market. We heard that they're keeping it the same. Everybody jumped back in. You seen the price rally. Stocks did the same thing. Uh, but we're hitting our head on this resistance. If we need to break above this.
This is bonus content for you, for y'all, giving you some game here.
That and again, this is interesting. We did this a couple weeks ago. I was showing you guys the RSI down here. Haven't touched this stuff since, but I mean, you have a cup and handle basically forming right here on the RSI. It's about to break out. Imminent breakout.
Imminent.
Imminent.
And I
We're
believe
nowhere
last week
near
you
it
were saying that if we on the weekly, if we hold at above 100, was that the number that you threw out there? Above 100, we were imminent to have a big breakout if it held above 100. I think it's
yet.
100 is where you were the number you were tossing around. Maybe it was a little
So
bit lower than that.
this is where 2 weeks ago I first started really going in on this. I was saying the fact that we're breaking up and we're holding this area. Look, we flipped all this resistance. This yellow line used to be resistance, rejected, the break, the test. Now we flip this into support. There is no other technical level up here. You get what I'm saying? So once we break this, which is due, and it's trying to do right now as we speak, there's really not much. to hold you down. Every number above that is going to be psychological. Like I don't know, people probably, hey, when it hits 130, I'm selling. People are going to be taking profits. But as far as the technical resistance and support and resistance, there's hardly anything above our head. The only thing that's in there is probably shorts, like people wanting to short the market. But if you push them up here, we're gonna liquidate them. Same thing with longs. There's a lot of liquidation down here in the 80K range, but that's a whole nother thing. Moral of the story is we're pushing up, we're trying to break out. If we don't break out and we come back down, we're gonna come back down again, right in this range, 101 to 102. Um, I don't know. It's again, it's just shaping up. This is the weekly. Big bull, big bull right here. Big bull. This little skinny ass stick, man. They tried to sell us off last week. We hit 109. They sold us down. They tried to crash it even further, but the bull said they're not having it. 97, it touched the bottom. 97, they bought it back up, and now we're sitting. We're about to close. We got a couple more days, but we'll close Sunday night. And if this closes above this yellow line, again, it just gets more bullish. The higher you have closing, especially as far as like a monthly, if we get a monthly candle that closes outside this range, 250. Here we go.
And it's important to note that Corey, he said it previously. I don't he might have said it earlier and I just missed it, but these are all indicators. You never want to use just one indicator. There's many indicators here that point to his conclusion.
Yeah, it's not just the support, it's support resistance, it's RSI, it's the momentum of the trend, it's
Culmination of
EMAs,
them all.
it's Bollinger Bands, it's MACD, it's all these things that you draw. Again, once you see confluence from multiple indicators, it kind of paints you a picture. Again, it's all statistics. You have a higher likelihood of this scenario playing out. So right now, there's a higher likelihood of it breaking up than it falling. They tried to drop it, and that's why I was telling you that candle that's a big deal because they bought it right up. It doesn't feel like that in the day in the inner day, like
Oh yeah.
you wake up, you're like, oh, it's at 109, then 6 hours later it's back at 98. Like, you're kind of bummed out, but it's when you got to zoom out. But
Now that we've regressed to crypto again.
well, again, like I said, I see it breaking out. It's getting active. We're at 106 again. They broke above the 105. This one looks legit. We might have a nice pump through the night, fellas. Come on,
Oh,
all
you're
the people we're
welcome. I
waiting
mean,
on.
this is like 3 episodes, not in a row, but 3 episodes that we've hit. Episode 2, we hit an all-time high in. I think episode 1, we were really low in. Anyways, we bring good fortune. Let's
3DS goes
let's
live
kind
and
of
it
get
pumps.
let's get this thing wrapped up here. The big thing this week that news outlets are going nuts over is 47 said that he's cutting off the federal workers. Come to the office or you get out of here. How do y'all feel about that? What if you were a federal worker and you were getting marks at lunch and showing up to the Zooms once a month and checking in?
It was just a matter of time. I mean, I'm not like, how can I get out here and defend that? You got to go to work. I mean, in a federal position, bro. I think a lot of people play this game, man. It's a big difference when you start jumping levels. It's like you don't just have a job, like you have a job, or Corey has a job, or I would have a job, or whoever, whatever. It's not McDonald's. Like you're on behalf of people that pay for you. You're supposed to actively be seeking out what you can find to be in their best interest daily. So if your job's not even important, like if you don't have to show up, but again, I think I tie this back into a weak leadership position because your fucking boss didn't show from the highest level. Your boss wasn't showing up. It starts to trickle down through the company and create this culture, of nonchalantness and just like, oh, well, I'll get to it. I'm gonna work from home Thursday. I'm gonna work from home, Wednesday to Thursday. Then I'm gonna work from home Monday to Friday. Then I'm just gonna stop working completely. I got the mouse jiggler from Timu and I'm good to go. Like, nah, it's over.
I agree with your sentiment. I think it's with any job there's pros and cons. If you're taking a federal job, I guarantee you every one of those folks who took that job initially, there was a office position for them and it became a work from home or a hybrid position, then work from home. And like you said, you're supposed to be you're not a public official, but you're supposed to be a steward of the tax dollars, and that's not that's not being a good steward.
Get
We'll
them
see what
gone.
happens. We'll see what happens. I mean, they got till February 6th. That was that the date, February 6th, to reply or show up or make their decision. I was telling Nate earlier, Corey, going through my neighborhood, it was hilarious because, I work from home, but I go through my neighborhood today and it was just this week, and there was like, I would say a 70% decline in vehicles that are parked along the road leaving my neighborhood. I live in like a condensed neighborhood. And usually the cars that are there were not there. There was like minimal cars on parked on the streets, off street parking here. And so I have to deduce the fact that I got a lot of federal workers around us. So I thought it was hilarious. I was like, yeah, bitch, get back to work.
They got to go
Clogging
back
up
into
my
their
fucking
office job.
streets. Oh man. Anyway, that's the big news there. Uh Elon keeps on doing Elon things. He performed the first unsupervised full self-driving. He had his cars commute from their birthplace to the factory to the loading docks. I thought that was kind of cool. They kind of just navigated
Drive themselves.
by themselves. Yeah, they put some GoPros in there and let them ride out and kind of followed them around. I thought that was pretty neat.
Did you
That's
ever? Sorry, this
no,
is
no,
off
go.
topic. It ties in with the Tesla's self driving. Did you ever watch that movie I was telling you about with it was I was telling you about it because I think Obama had a hand in the directing or the writing of the story. Hold on, let me Google it.
Well, he's
But
googling that.
there's a scene in it, and this is why I bring it up because the satellite and communication towers go out, and they find Tesla's driving themselves, and they're like all going to the same spot, and there's like this big pile of
You talking about leave
um
the world behind?
yeah, something like that. Leave the world behind. You know what I'm talking about? You seen it?
Yeah, I've seen it.
I
Yeah,
think
you
I
should watch
have.
that, Bo.
Hacked.
Yeah, hacked. Because
I
Yeah,
think I have.
they touch on a lot of different things though. They touch on financial markets. One of the main characters in there. He's like a wealth advisor, mega rich dude, and he just talks about like kind of like a cabal type thing. Yeah, and I don't know. It's interesting. Just you gotta watch it.
it's China.
That's the trick they played on them. One side said it's China, the other
Propaganda.
side said it was Iran, or yeah, I think it was Iran.
And lo and behold, it was the CIA. Yeah, I thought that was a
So
pretty good little depiction of kind of a blackout apocalyptic type scenario.
Pushing higher, boys. Let's go. 105. Here we go. We're coming up on it real soon.
You have to bump it up.
And we're coming up on the end of the show where we're going to go ahead and wrap this thing up. Last thing I was going to mention was HBAR has officially made ties with the XRP. So do what you will with that information.
Pump it up. You have to, and they're working with SafeLock to go quantum proof. Telling you, listen to me, ladies and gentlemen. Satellite communication, SafeLock, cold law. I don't know. It's a little above my pay grade when it comes to the AI and the quantum, but the technology's coming in. The infrastructure is going to be there. Don't worry about your crypto.
To end
Gold
the
wallet.
show, I would love to ask y'all a super off topic question.
Shoot.
What is your favorite fast food burger joint?
Nate?
Culver's. Undisputed champ, Culver's, bro. Currently, right now, Culver's. If Five Guys didn't cost twice as much, burger joint, Culver's.
I've
I
got
would go
kind
with
of
Five
greasy.
Guys. I screw that. It's a burger. I want grease. Give me all that grease and that fries with that extra seasoning in the bag and just overflowing everywhere. The
You
grease
do feel like a
stains the
boss with
bottom
that
of
little
it.
greasy ass bag.
Hell yeah, grease stains on the bottom. Come on, man. Five
You got to
Guys
put that
is
on one of those floorboards that have like the weather tech liners.
yeah.
You put it on
It gets
carpet,
so
it's gonna be
hard.
there forever.
Oh yeah, you got to put some vinegar on there. Mm.
Yeah, they
I'm
do
not.
tax
I'm
for the
not.
burgers
I'm
though.
not like diminishing Five Guys or degrading them to any degree. I'm just saying it's not close enough. It's not economically logistical for me to make that happen. But Culver, they've been 5 minutes away. Ooh. Fire off on that double bacon deluxe, baby. Ooh wee.
I think mine is we don't have a Culver's up here. So I guess it's either gonna be Five Guys. We got Five Guys right around the corner.
Mm, mm, mm.
Five Guys is guys.
That mother-
What's your runner up?
My runner up. I mean, damn, I don't even eat fast food like that. But I think if I had to, I'm taking Burger King over McDonald's. I'm taking Wendy's over Burger King. So Wendy's.
It's dead. Let me see.
It's
Here you
disgusting.
take this.
No,
Plug it
Wendy's
in
is
the
straight.
charger right there.
If I
What's your
had to
runner
go,
up, Nate?
I had five. I had Culver's Five Guys, but I guess they want me to keep going.
No, 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 no. I didn't.
Uh,
I got you. I got you.
I'd take it to rallies. Some they call it checkers,
Rallies.
some they call it rallies. McDonald's and then Wendy's.
Dang. You took McDonald's over Wendy's?
You asked me for the burger. I'd much
Yeah,
rather
I
eat
got
that double quarter pounder with cheese, no ketchup. McDonald's, you fucking clowns.
But you get mayo on it?
No, just the mustard that it comes with, the onions and the cheese, and
Oh, you like them little square onions or like the whole ass onion?
I don't mind either way. It doesn't change the taste, in
Well, I
my
guess
opinion.
diced or sliced.
Diced, sliced. I like a sliced onion. They
Man, I
don't
like them
fall. They
diced
don't.
joints. Some
They
little
don't fall out under you. I mean, the McDonald's little mini diced, GMO onions are cool, but I mean, the meat's real, so that's at least they got that going for them. They've had enough lawsuits about that. You just take the
Fair
bun off.
enough.
Really, you just take the bun off a McDonald's burger. It's not that bad for you. But that bun, that bitch got about 30 plus ingredients.
it ain't the burger, it's the bun.
Facts.
Beautiful. What's your runner up, Corey?
Um, I would probably say Checkers I like Checkers and or Wendy's. Wendy's right now, like up here where I'm at here, like a fast food joint. I don't know. I'm just not. I haven't eaten McDonald's in years,
Same.
but I'm going with Wendy's for sure.
Shit, I ain't
I would
had
say I
McDonald's.
would say Burger King over McDonald's though too as far as a burger.
Got that flame broiled, daddy.
There
Back
was
before,
at one point you could pull up the Burger King and tell them how you wanted it cooked, like medium
Have it your
well.
way, cut.
that's
Not
before it
no
was
more.
that was before it was lab grown. There's no way to
Now
get
you
that
pull up
color.
and tell them how you want it. Them motherfuckers be like, "Who fuck you talking to?"
Bitch.
Who the fuck asked you?
Yeah, good luck.
Ain't nobody tell you to tell me how to cook my burger for
I
you.
will I will say this because I think it's interesting. Back in the '90s, bro, Sonic dominated all you fucking people.
Oh, Sonic.
Back in the day, Sonic, oh man, fucking all y'all up. Covers went
Yeah.
around then, but the rest of them, y'all
Sonic
was
onion
getting them
rings.
hands. Them gonna be yes, sir. Them Sonic onion rings went crazy.
It had
And
like a
you
little
should
bit of
just pull up.
sweetness to
Nobody
it.
had a phone. Everybody was just kicked off on that little. You remember the innovation of that panel with the menu on it, little speaker box. Now they got
Uh-huh.
kiosks, but
They
man, that
come
shit
up,
was
they hang that
cool.
little shit on your
They've hit
window.
the four blades on you. They roller skating. They got that motherfucker. Turn on the music. Everybody talking, socializing, no phone. Yeah. Whipping them onion rings around, big old frosty, blasty smoothie, whatever you want. We got it. And
Yeah.
then whatever happened. They just fell off the fucking
That
edge
cherry
of the firmament.
limeade.
I would say the cherry limeade single-handedly is holding Sonic afloat.
And them tots, dog. Them tots are fucking.
He said them tots.
Where else you going and get some crispy, delicious tots like that? Ain't nowhere. We got way off topic on this.
This is your
Start talking
topic.
about food.
Yeah. Here we
Locked and
go.
loaded.
All right. Well, I think we've covered all the bases tonight. We've talked all the things crypto. We've talked all the things. Well, not all the things. We've covered a lot of ground. Please, please like, subscribe. Let us know what you think. Let us know what you like to hear, what you don't like to hear. We'll keep on adapting the content. We're happy to innovate and move on and throw some things out and move some things in, whatever y'all like. Thank y'all so much.
Thanks, Eddie. We're hollering at you.
Appreciate y'all.
You asked us
Yeah,
for the
appreciate you,
input
Eddie, man.
and the
Yeah,
outlook on the future of the
ESG.
company. We're gonna bring it to you. Don't worry.
We'll see y'all next week. We out.